Hey guys, gonna be a quiet shave today, but we'll introduce the stuff. Black Watch from Seaforth. Haven't had this soap yet at all. Haven't even smelled it in terms of having a sample or anything. I've been smelling it just on the dry tub for a while, and it smells really nice. I didn't order it blindly because of the jasmine. Didn't know whether I'd like it or not. And I think because of the description, some people were putting out, but it just kept being so highly rated. And I know that I like the Seaforth soaps, but turns out this is a different base. This is their Highland base. I think it's a lower, more gluey base or something like that. And so it may present a different experience than all the other Seaforth stuff that you've seen me use. We're going to get obscure with a QBall Platinum Plus razor blade. I think it's in the Personna family. And so it may just be a Personna Lab Blue or, something like that. You can check out the description of the video for more details if you're curious. Got it from tryAblade.com. I don't remember if they're still going right now or if they kind of slowed down operations. This is a Viking brush, and it's the Odin's Beard Knot. I think I had pretty good experience with the Odin's Beard Knot in the previous shave. And then we'll be putting it in my, maybe just my favorite razor, just across the board, generally speaking, the Karve Christopher Bradley. This is a B solid bar, and of course this is in brass. I have polished up a few parts of it with a little bit of hand brasso kind of, and a rag, so just a very basic kind of polish. Takes a minute to unscrew the handle. Super plus platinum. It is what is on the blade there. It looks like it's got about 2 shaves on it, judging by the dots, if they're accurate. Ooh, I think I cut myself. I pulled my middle finger here a little too quickly away. Let's see if I can stir up a little blood. Well, super minor, very good, but I felt that little sting. Gotta be careful. The patina on this Karve has just, haven't used it in a while, and it just keeps darkening up. It's wonderful. We'll have to just kind of start from scratch with this Highland soap base. The other notes in it are, we'll start from because they're kind enough to put it on the packaging. Bergamot, jasmine, plum, leather, oak moss, incense, and sandalwood. Now, the jasmine's really the only one that gives me pause. I have definitely had jasmine be too strong in a soap and had me not like it at all, because it's very kind of feminine, floral. It can be. And so we'll see if it's a big part of the scent or not. From the dry tub, it doesn't seem like it, so I'm happy about that. But it just got such reviews that I just kind of had to break down. Plus, even if I don't like it and I sell it for a little bit of a loss, I've provided a little bit of funding for a small business who's doing a great job for our community and a great job reviving an old brand and just in general. So, my standard load amount is between 20 and 30 seconds. With the reputation that this Highland soap base is having, I should at least maybe go for 30. Let's do 35. See what happens. You can tell the tips of this finest badger knot have been treated, so they should be pretty soft. Brand new. What did I say, 35 seconds? Starting at 25. I can feel backbone because of the density of this knot here. We have a small kind of wet slurry. It's definitely not posturing up quickly like many soaps. So this is going to be 35 if I stop right now. Let's just go for a little while longer. Okay, that's 40. 45. I'm going to let the kind of excess wetness just kind of drip out into my lather bowl here. And let's clean everything up. Put a little bit of it on my face. And I got my face wet, as you can see, during one of the breaks. It's a little bit darker of a soap. A lot of firmness here because of just the density of the knot. My other Odin's beard was pretty comfy. This one may be set deeper into the handle, and that can really change the experience. It firms up the backbone, gives it more density. I'm sorry, the backbone, due to the density, you know, it takes advantage of that density to contribute toward higher backbone. So I often have to pass those kinds of brushes off to somebody else and find ones that are lofted a little higher. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of taken on that, how should I describe it, a kind of a soft creaminess that's akin to maybe milk steak or maybe the Excelsior base from Barrister and Mann. Sure looks nice. Looks like I've got enough lather. With this kind of lather, with this kind of soft consistency, doesn't look, I mean, it's hard to describe. I think it's because of all the butters and oils that are in there. After all, we're talking about, starting from the top, stearic acid, water, beef tallow, glycerin, potassium hydroxide, kokum butter, fragrance, castor oil, sodium hydroxide, sodium lactate, xanthan gum, jojoba oil, muru butter, and shea butter. So he's definitely added some different ingredients. A little bit more water to the brush. It's a manly scent. The jasmine is not being strong, so that's good. A little bit more water to the brush. Oh man, see, I'm wearing the red shirt again. I was hoping I'd be able to pay attention to the clock. So you didn't see me doing my first pass there. I'm liking the scent. The lather consistency is kind of that softer, buttery, oily kind of lather like milk steak has. I'm not as much of a fan of that. I'm adding some to the lather here. It provided me pretty comfortable first pass of shaving. The blade and razor work very well together. But it wasn't as fast as I like with a lather that's focused on slickness. Whereas this one is taking a detour toward skincare and moisturization. Get a little bit of water on my face. All right. I like the brush. It does have a lot of density, but the tips are soft enough to where they're allowing the movement without pushing my face around. After adding water, this lather is noticeably thinner. I like it better this way because it's, see, it's slicker. It's a good blade. One of those atypical ones. I wonder if there's some international market where it's more popular, you know. Got it in a sampler from tryblade.com. A few years ago. I don't know if they're still fulfilling orders or not. I know they slowed down because of COVID, I think. Rinse. I'm really enjoying the smell of this soap. I think it would make a great cologne, great splash, balm, all those things. It's not super strong, maybe 4 or 5 out of 10, but it's very classy, it's masculine. I think this one was developed by Sean Maher, if I'm not mistaken, and he has a gift for putting scents together. It smells so good, I may not put on a balm or splash afterwards. So is that the third pass? I think so. I feel nicely, closely shaved. So what am I picking up out of the scent list here? The bergamot seems to be kind of an accent. It's hard to pick out. The plum, it's so light that I can kind of see it if I think about it, but I don't think if I was told, I don't think I'd pull it out. I don't think I'd guess that it was in there. Leather is forward, but it's not heavily leather. Leather can take over a scent, and I often like that just fine, but it doesn't need to happen all the time. So I think it's a nice contributing factor with this one. It helps out, and it's in the front, but it's not so dominant among the others. Oak moss, incense, sandalwood, background with the sandalwood. I think the leather and the incense are the things that are kind of coming forward for the most part for my nose. Sandalwood's probably a mild player there. And that's often the case because he's a low note, a bottom note, to where he is there at the end, and often as a supporting cast member. So I added some more water to it as you saw during the shave, and I liked the performance much better. I think I do generally prefer their other base that they've put out in the Sea Spice Lime, the Heather, the Spice, those guys. I like that one a little better than this one, but I can see how they put out this one because it does resemble some of the more modern bases and the moisturizing direction that they're heading. But it was fairly easy to lather. I did lather for a little while. How much? I mean, I did load for a little while. How much lather do I have here? This could probably use a little bit more water. I bet enough for about 3 shaves here because it's a little concentrated, a little bit maybe. I think 3 more shaves, so I could back off a little bit with the loading, I think. The Odin's Beard knot worked well. It is dense, but the tips gave enough flex, and it's a large enough knot to where it didn't have to splay a lot to give you that sensation of full coverage, to give you softness on your face, that sort of thing. So I like this one. I don't quite like the handle pour as much as as others, but this is a good knot. It's probably, you know, a rebranded 2-band Badger, not Finest Badger, you know, who knows, maybe from Umo or something like that. And then the guy at Viking just renamed it Odin's Beard for his purposes. So it's probably the same as some other knots out there. It's very similar to the Fanchurian, you know, that sort of thing. Some of the Declaration grooming batches are going to resemble, you know, this one. Just depends on which batch you might like as to whether this one would be what matches you or not. Very soft tips. The tips did not feel jelly or spongy. They just felt very soft. And I think that's a good place. I like that. It's a very cold day today, and so I am going to put on some Dunshire from Stirling. It's such a light scent that it actually may not impact the Black Watch at all. A lot of residual slickness still left on my face after the shave. You kind of expect that with all the butters and oils that are in this Highland base. It smells so good, it makes me want to definitely pull the trigger if I happen to come across some Black Watch on the used market for a good price. Whether I buy it full price, that's going to depend on your budget. If I had the budget, I would. We'll see. We'll see if I have the budget. All right. And here's what it looks like after a good towel stropping and a good rinsing and all that stuff. Nice and big. It had been traveled with in a wrap in a tube, and so the knot was really kind of small. But that's okay. If you ever get a new knot or one that's kind of been wrapped up, just put it in some water and use it a little bit, and it'll look like a normal big old brush. So my guess is 26, 28 millimeters. It would be the size of the knot at the base here. Ergonomics of the handle were pretty good. I didn't lose control. I just may not like it aesthetically, but functionally it worked well. The Karve with the QBall was a great matchup. Give it a good rinse. I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Sorry for the snafu. I think you guys missed the shaving of the first pass, but hopefully that's all you missed. It was a little bit slow of a movement. Well, slower than the super slick that I'm used to from the other more normal Spearhead base, the Seaforth Spearhead base. But then I added more water in the second, and it sped up to an acceptable level. So I do prefer the other base, his first Spearhead base, better, but this one's still quite nice. I think that's it. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Wish you all the best. You guys have a good day.